Hey, all you VIP Kid teachers out there. I'm back today to do a brand ambassador video. This video is a result of many questions that you as teachers have given to me to answer here on my YouTube channel. So today I want to tackle one that has been very, very popular amongst many of you that have asked, and that is this. What's the deal with the heat in China? They do have heat in China, but they have a unique heating system. So I thought I would share a little bit of my experience living in China. China has what's called the heating line, and it comes down and around the bottom of China is considered the south, and that's the area where they don't have central heating or government provided access to heat. Now, in the northern cities, they have that access to heating inside of their apartments. For Chinese people, it's not always about not having heat sources. So, for instance, those people living in the south, when I was living in the south, our apartment did not have access to government heating, but we still had access to heat. So we had two things in our house. We had this and this. These are essentially air conditioners. However, those air conditioners function as both heating and cooling. So they're great because in the summer, in the south, it's very hot and we use the air conditioner. In the winter, if it got cold, we could flip the switch and it became a heater. So essentially it's like having a room heater or a wall air conditioning unit in America. Here's the difference. In China, Chinese people don't always want to turn that switch on. And there's a number of reasons for that. One reason is the money. They don't want to spend the money for it. Why? They can just put more clothes on, right? So in their situation, they view that as the practical or appropriate thing to do. Don't pay for heat, just put more clothes on, right? But here in America, what do we think is practical? Turn up the dial. Let's make it a little warmer in this house. Now, it's not that every apartment has one of these, but it is possible to have one of these in the apartments. It was not that expensive in our minds. It was not a big expense, and it was definitely not luxurious. But Chinese people would come to our home and they would say, "Why do you have that on? Why are you paying for that? Put more clothes on." They thought it was better for us to just put long johns on than to turn up the heat. So it was all about the perspective and the thinking in the minds and culture. The other thing is that Chinese people sometimes feel like it's not healthy because they're getting fake air coming into the house. So it's not healthy air that's coming and circulated into their home. So often when we had people over to eat, they would ask us to turn it off. So it's not necessarily the case that a family does not have the ability to have heat. It's that they don't want to use it. So when you see your students all with their puffy coats on, that doesn't necessarily mean the government is not giving them heat. We have to think of it culturally accurate, and that is to say there's opportunities to get heat, but they probably aren't choosing to allocate the funds to it, or they simply don't think it's a healthy choice. So it's all in your perspective. For me, when I lived in China, I was willing to pay, but some of the Chinese people wouldn't be interested in that. They would put their money to other things. It's all about what you think is practical. In America, we think one thing is practical, and in China, they think something different. Thanks so much. Have a great day.